You guys, Aaron here, and I'll show you guys two different gunsmith builds for the 50GS new pistol that just came out. It's the first secondary weapon to get added to the game since the game's launch, and it's also the first secondary weapon to get a legendary blueprint, so that was pretty cool. So I was very excited for this weapon to come out. Obviously, as you guys saw in my last video, did not get lucky in the lucky draw, so I had to go through the seasonal challenge to unlock the weapon and then level it up. Which the seasonal challenge itself wasn't that hard, literally just play shipment over and over again, whether it's kill confirmed, hardpoint, team deathmatch, whatever, and just work on the challenges from there. It did not take long at all. I roughly finished every challenge, like one challenge a match basically, so it wasn't that hard. Now for this build here, this is more of a mid to long range build. Does not involve the akimbo perk. The next build I will be showing you will involve the akimbo perk. I'll go over the attachments here. So for the muzzle, OWC light compensator, barrel OWC marksman, laser OWC laser tactical, trigger action is the match grade trigger, and the perk is sleight of hand. Now the sleight of hand is the only attachment that I would maybe swap around for either the extended mag or one of the rear grips. But I went with the perk because obviously faster reload is always good and there's no cons to it. The optics on this weapon are kind of weird right now, like they're very small when you aim in. Like I don't know if it's a glitch or it's meant to be like that, but they're super weird compared to the other pistols, so I don't know if they're going to fix that in the future or if it's meant to be like that, but I don't really think an optic is super useful on any 50GS build, but I don't know, I guess you could go an optic if you really wanted to. But for this build I stuck with the sleight of hand perk because that's always like a good attachment to have on any weapon. It's a safe attachment. But like I said, this is more of a mid to long range type build. I would really only use this build if I was using like a close range SMG like the Fennec, especially the Akimbo Fennec, or like the MSMC or the Pharaoh. Or if I was using a shotgun, just because obviously all those weapons are terrible at long range. You're not going to be able to kill anyone. But at least if you have the 50GS with this specific build, you can at least kill people at longer ranges, especially if people like head glitching or anything like that. It's a pretty reliable 2-shot at mid-range, but at longer ranges, it's usually 2-3 shot, like 2-shot to the head, 3 shots to the body, I believe. So it's not a bad build at all, but the next build I'm going to be showing you is a lot better, I think. So the next build is the Akimbo 50GS build. This is going to be a super popular build that everyone's going to be using. Honestly, this is probably like the most overpowered secondary you could probably have at the moment in the game. That's what I think at least. So the attachments on this weapon are for the muzzle, MIP light flash guard, barrel OWC marksman, perk obviously akimbo, laser MIP laser 5MW, the ammunition is the large extended mag B. So those are the attachments. I really don't think I would use any other attachment setup for this. Now none of the grips are really like useful for an akimbo hip fire build. And the same thing with the trigger actions, like 2 of the trigger actions lower your hip fire accuracy, which is, you don't want that at all of course. And the other one lowers your fire rate and only increases your ADS, like bullet spread accuracy, which is not useful obviously because we can't ADS. Now, obviously the muzzle and the laser are for increasing the hip fire accuracy. The one thing I will say about this build is that even with these attachments, it can still be pretty inaccurate. Like, a lot of the times you'll see in the gameplay, like, I'll miss bullets even at close range. So, obviously they have to balance this out because it is a secondary and it can't be super overpowered, so that's probably why it's pretty inaccurate and like you miss a lot of your bullets sometimes. But overall it's still pretty good. It's still probably the best secondary possible in the game, I think. So obviously this is definitely best used with longer range weapons like snipers, LMGs, ARs, but really because of how strong it is, like I said, it's probably the best secondary weapon in the game. You could use it with any class setup because it's that strong. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to end up putting this specific akimbo build on all of my classes. Like, more than likely, that's what I'm going to do. I'll probably have one class for launchers, one class for melee, and that's about it. But other than that, this is going on all my classes, probably. Because they're just pretty strong at close range. Obviously, the only drawback to it, really, is, like, how inaccurate it can be at times and how you miss bullets, but it's a secondary weapon, so that needs to have some sort of drawback. It can't be too overpowered. But overall though, I'm really liking the 50GS. Both builds are solid, but definitely the akimbo build is going to be obviously the most popular, and it's definitely better in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below of this 50GS. If you guys have questions on the seasonal challenge, let me know. And also one more thing I forgot to mention, the akimbo perk itself is not unlockable through levels. You actually have to do a challenge, which is like, I think it's like kill 3 enemies without dying 20 times. So again, just play Shipment over and over again. You could go Katie's Kill Confirmed also if you really wanted to, or even Rust, but Shipment is definitely the smallest map. It's the best way to go. But I forgot that's also the challenge to unlock it. Like, you actually have to unlock it through a challenge, not just leveling it up. So, thought I mentioned that also. But let me know what you guys think in the comments of this build. If you guys have any suggestions on what other builds you can make, let me know. Thanks for watching. Peace.